guys, welcome back to the Canteen. It's Stephanie, your friendly neighborhood bartender. Please remember you haven't subscribed. Subscribe, hit that bell so you know when I upload more content. Hit those likes, because the more likes I get, the more my video gets seen, and you get notifications. And share away here, we share away for a little Star Wars. And I hope you enjoy the upcoming video. Is TLJ and Hollywood at large racist? Pull up to the bar. You know, this is Stephanie Janice, like your friendly neighborhood bartender. And I kind of wanted to drop a little bit of a couple of truth bombs. Having a conversation with some people, and what's interesting is that a lot of people misread what they see in TLJ and a lot of movies. And it's been obvious to some of us who actually are intellectual and kind of see what they're seeing. When you watch TLJ and you're watching anything made like that, the diversity trolls show up. I'm going to read you something from a friend of mine who is in Hollywood, who has experienced and seen racism from the liberal elites firsthand. I'm not going to say what his name is, but I'm going to read what he wrote to me. My point is about being liberal, about liberal racism in Hollywood. People here pretend to be enlightened and are always accusing conservatives and white people of racism. But they have their own insidious racism, one where people of color exist as cheap props and they are the saviors. TLJ reflects that. You know, even from The Force Awakens, when you discover that Finn wasn't just a stormtrooper, he was a sanitation guy. Screams Bojangles. It doesn't scream brave man, character unto his own. Fine. All right, I'll give him that. Then you get to TLJ, and Finn is reduced to a carnival sideshow and teamed up with Rose Tico, beautiful Asian girl, played by Kelly Marie Tran, who is dressed in a potato sack. And then we could go to the LGBTQ thing, where Vice Admiral Holdo is turned into whatever Ryan Johnson thinks is what a beauty queen would wear. Instead of wearing a uniform like an admiral would, she's dressed like she's going to the Senate to debate, or to the opera. And of course, the danger hair. The warning color hair, the bright purple hair. So, are these Hollywood liberals really enlightened? No. You don't treat people differently in any way, shape, or form, or divide them because of race, color, creed, or, lifestyle. You just don't. That's not how the world works. That's not how a true enlightened person lives. To me, it's very interesting when I think about the racism inherent in Hollywood. I've heard stories about companies hiring quotas, and the person they put in charge doesn't have the experience, gets in over their heads. They got the job because they're black or Asian or whatever. Now, if they're Asian, it's almost as difficult. And they have to be fired. Case in point, Carrie Hart. She is what looks like to me like the sacrificial lamb to save the story group. Unless they're gone when Kennedy is gone. A case in point, the only reason why Pablo Hidalgo has his job at Lucasfilm is not because he's good at it, and he's not. It's because he's Latino, and that's no reason to keep someone around for a job. Yeah, I am being very harsh. I believe in content of character, not color of skin. Okay, if I have 15 guys coming up for a job, 6 white men, 3 white women, 2 black men, and a couple of minority women, whoever has the experience, whoever interviews the best, will get the job. See, here's the deal. If you hire someone because you and this is also pointed out to me, and I liked Rogue One. If you take people and hire them based on race alone, or you have a quota, we need a Latino guy, we need a black guy, we need a white woman, we need an Asian Pacific guy, we need an Asian guy. All right, the cast worked out. I mean, they're not memorable to me. I could give a shit about them, but it worked out pretty well for what they were doing. However, it doesn't always work out well, okay? And in TLJ, that proves it. John Boyega was treated like nothing more than a prop. Kelly Marie Tran was treated like a prop, and Laura Dern was treated as a walking billboard for 76 different genders or whatever. But what do the characters do? Nothing. Their character arcs were useless. Now, sure, Admiral Holdo sacrificed herself. Well, you could have either programmed a droid to do it, or instead of having Holdo show up at all, have Admiral Akbar do it. And that would have fit his character. But, instead of telling the story, Rian Johnson and the powers that be, the racist, bigoted powers that be at Lucasfilm decided for representation to put Laura Dern in that clown outfit and then have her do it. Dressed like she was going to an intergalactic prom. You just don't do that. You know, it's not the way you tell stories. It's also disingenuous. It's also disrespectful. If you go on Twitter, you see a lot of Hollywood liberals screaming about racism, and they're always white, or these females screaming about misogyny and Me Too. Peel back the onion. These women who scream about misogyny with the Me Too movement and how badly they were treated welcomed it. And when they didn't get what they wanted, then they complained. You don't do that, okay? There are actresses in Hollywood who made huge careers for themselves without, believing the promises of Harvey Weinstein or anything or anybody else. You don't do that. Your self-respect is your problem, not mine. You were part of that problem, and be a real woman, be a grown-up, and admit it. And whitewashing every man as a problem, every white man in particular as a problem, is bigotry, it's victimhood, and it's bullshit. Okay, now let's go to their tokenism, which I call a tokenism. First off, I'm going to preface this with my Asian friends have a word for the Hollywood left. People like Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger, yeah. Call him Bai Zhao. Bai Zhao is a Chinese term for white left. It's an epithet. It's not a nice thing to call somebody. It's pretty politically incorrect, but because it's Asian, you get away with it, and I'm going to use it. And here's what they do. They don't look at minorities as being their equals. They look at minorities as children. I have a sister in my family who can't literally have a conversation with a black man without treating him like he's 12 years old. Okay? She's enlightened. That's not enlightened, okay? Now, to me, it just sickens me because it basically categorizes people who are black, red, yellow, whatever, as not being your equal, but your inferiors, and you have to act like the parent. That is bullshit. That's what the Hollywood left does. There was no reason for Rose Tico to even be in this movie. She was hired because she's Asian, and Rian Johnson, basically said the character he created reminded him of somebody he would have been friends with in high school and wanted to date. There was no reason for her. She was just an avatar for some weird fetish he had. She had absolutely no reason to be in the movie, and that's a disservice because Kelly Marie Tran is a beautiful girl and deserved a better character. Again, let's go back to John Boyega. He goes from being heroic, getting himself wounded badly, to walking out with milk jugs with water spilling out all over wondering what the hell is going on. And that's the first time you actually see Finn. Then he tries to escape again to go look for Rey. And I gotta say this. I believe strongly that JJ, who I think means well, and looked at Finn and Rey as sort of being the romance in this new trilogy, and I really think that there's racism inherent at Lucasfilm and their shills, because the moment this Rey little shit started going on, Adam Driver, la la la, these people attach themselves to the pasty white guy, looking for any excuse for him so he could be with Rey. That was never JJ's intention, okay? Thank Jaina and Jason, Luke and Leia. That's it. And they won't let it go. Even after Daisy shot it down, they won't let it go, which is really bizarre. But I also think there's inherent racism in there. You don't really see people at Lucasfilm, even if they know it's not going to happen, stick up for either Rey being by herself and a power on her own, which would be the very feminist thing for her to do, or Finn or Poe, and you kind of wonder about that. Now, Kathleen Kennedy has 2 daughters, I think, and I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to let you guys ruminate on this. What would she say if one of them came home with a black man, a Latino man, an Asian guy? Think about it. These people don't care about minorities. They don't care about, nobody in Hollywood cares about minorities unless they're mowing their lawns or they're doing their gardens. That's it. Okay? And even then, they treat them like servants, not like human beings. And that is bullshit. Okay? So, when you watch TLJ, think about what you're really seeing. Because Rian Johnson isn't treating Finn or Poe or Rey as characters unto themselves, their own character. He's treating them as props for what he thinks is diversity, social justice. And all it is a snide sneaky form of racism. And it's not just in TLJ, it's not just at Lucasfilm. It is all over Hollywood. Treating people like children who are grown adults. Putting people in positions they can't deal with because they got their jobs because of the color of their skin and not because they were talented and had the experience. Okay? That's not fair. Okay? I'm sure if Carrie Hart had more experience or had been brought up slowly, I'm sure she'd probably still be there and maybe she'd be doing a good job. And I don't really like her. I mean, she's probably as big an SJW as anybody else, but still, firing her. Why? She was the token black woman. Rain Roberts is a token black woman. Look at her resume. The 2 other women that showed up, look at their resumes. They're tokens, okay? They weren't hired because they have any experience, and that is bigotry, all right? That is bigotry, and that's wrong, and it hurts them as bad or worse than anybody else, and it ultimately hurts the company. But something I noticed, something that a friend of mine shared with me, and I've seen and I've heard about, and I really thought it's time for this to be out there and talked about, because, here's the deal: the Phantom Menace gets crapped on for, being racist. I'll give you names: Abanas, Mark with the C, Damon Janai, The Lonely Banter, Drunk 3PO. I think he's half African American or something. All these people. All right, Ivan Ortega. Let's talk about the women: Mecca Random, Anna, me, Toriel, Mary, all these other women. Then you got Hey Viv. Okay, you've got Irish girl over in Ireland with her videos going on, whose name I can never remember. God, I'm so sorry. And we're the racists. All right, guys. All right. No, this is a very diverse group where content of character means everything. And the unifying thing is saving Star Wars. Okay? We're not here because we need tokens. We're not Bai Zhao. Okay? I'm not a Bai Zhao. Craig's not a Bai Zhao. My friend Jay Cotto. All right? I don't hang out with these people because I feel like I need, to quote a lovely phrase from Sex and the City, we were looking to fit a lesbian couple into our circle. I mean, but that's the way these lefties talk. All right, that's the way they are. It doesn't, and to us, it don't matter. If you're a Star Wars fan, you hate what they're doing, you're in the club. You're in the club. But what we're seeing is a bunch of racists, latent, snide racists who think they're liberal, abusing minorities, turning them into tokens, calling us something we're not, and basically projecting themselves onto us. So anyway, just wanted to put this out there. This is Steph. Thanks to my friend on Twitter and Facebook for kind of talking to me about this. I hope I enlightened some people. Hope I brought up some good questions for y'all. Leave a comment in the comment section. So I'll see you around the galaxy, see you around the cantina. Please remember to tip the Wookiee bar 10%. No droids, no bounty hunters, no Raylos. No Raylos. You fight, you take it out in the street. No fights in the bar. Gunfights, you take that shit out in the street. I'll see you in the galaxy, Scott. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please remember, if you haven't subscribe. Hit that bell so you know when I upload more content. Hit those like buttons again. Remember, if you hit the like button, you'll get notifications, and then I won't be getting people going, I'm not getting notifications. Also, please remember to share away here. We share away here for love Star Wars. And upcoming video will likely be reading Raylo with Steph. Enjoy. I'll see you later, guys. See you around the galaxy.